Guys, I can't believe it. This is our last week of the 3-month challenge to change. Congratulations if you have been with me this entire time. 3 months. 3 months have gone by, and I really, truly hope that you can see some change that has happened, even whether you couldn't see it when you were in the middle of it. Maybe looking back over month 1 when you were practicing acceptance, or looking back over week 2 when you were practicing dream, or even in this last month of our theme being expectations. I absolutely would love to hear from you. I know that I have some things that have shifted that I wasn't really expecting, but I believe in mindfulness with intention brings healing and transformation. I believe in that. I do think it is a practice, and when you put out energy, energy will come back to you. Maybe not the way that you thought and or wanted, but that leads us perfectly into our final week, week 4 of, hi buddy, expectations. Hi. He's like, I had my camera debut. Not really, he's always on camera. Henry, my dog. Hi bud. Week 4 of expectations. It's simple, just like last week was simple. So let me jump into that and read our card. Last time for this card. Expectations. Having inflexible expectations is premeditated resentment. We all have expectations of the way we want our lives to be, other people to be, situations to be. The list goes on and on. There is no supposed to be or should be in life. Life just is. And holding too tightly to our expectations makes us rigid and disappointed. Learn to hold your expectations loosely. Sometimes they will be met and sometimes they won't. Practice being okay in both situations and leave resentment behind. Oh, that's still just a lot to take in. Part of me is like, 1 month is not going to do it. But our theme for this week is that last sentence. So let me read that to you. Practice being okay in both situations. And that means, whether your expectations are met or whether they're not. And leave resentment behind. And so I wore my "You Are Okay" shirt. It's really for me. I wear it and I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I am okay. But honestly, that's our focus this week. Learning to be okay no matter what life throws at you. And boy, oh boy, have we not all had that challenge this 2020 year. And I'm not going to lie, expectations they're just hard for me. I have a lot of them. So I'm really excited to get to our weekly challenge, because as I was going through this process, remember, I'm doing this with you. Really, I'm doing it for myself, and then you just get to come along my journey. But as I was going through and preparing for our weekly challenge, I was, reflecting on how I still kind of feel stuck with expectations and not being resentful. And this week, if you do receive the emails, you'll get a little more information on the theme, as far as sometimes we even just take things personally. Like, this didn't work out, or this didn't work out, or they said this and they didn't do it. And instead of just being like, that's life, we can be like, well, what did I do? Or what did I say? Or what's wrong with me? And so sometimes our expectations and the hangover of them not being met can be lessened if we learn how to not take things personally. So we'll dig into that in a little more depth. But first, before we go to our challenge, I'm really excited because there is a giveaway. So anyone who signed up for the deeper dive, you got your name put in to receive a prize. So we're going to do that together. I wrote everyone's name on these little cute strips of paper. This one has a strawberry on it. I know. Details. And we're going to pick our winner. So dun 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 dun. Okay, I better close my eyes or look away. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Kayla! Hooray! Okay, so Kayla, if you're watching this video, and I'll reach out to you, you won. So what do you win? You win the opportunity to have one of the ABCs of Happy letters, maybe the one that you just practiced, acceptance, dream, or expectations, in a frame, or another one, like this one is F for faith. So we will discuss that later. But yay, congratulations, Kayla. Okay. Oh, and I also wanted to mention this candle that I have here. I really wish you could smell it. It smells so good. It is from Light Shine Candles, and it's pumpkin muffin. So find them. I will put the link to their site in the notes of this video because this is so good. And Anna gifted me this scent, but stay tuned. I am so excited that I'm creating a product to support local Nashville business and promote self-care, and Light Shine Candles is going to be included in that. So like I said, I'll put the link to her site, and everyone get one of those pumpkin muffin candles. They're so good. Okay, so let's move on. Lots of exciting things. Let's move on to our challenge this week. It is a little more in depth from all the other ones that we've done, I think. I really wanted us to, since this is the end of the challenge, really kind of think through this process of dealing with expectations. So our challenge is to learn to be okay no matter what. That sounds great, doesn't it? So I have a 5-step process for us. And remember, I'm going to put all of this in the notes of this video. So step 1, honor your expectations without judgment. So when you want something, when you thought, I really wish this went this way, or I really wanted that person to do X, Y, Z, I am not saying that you're always going to get what you want, but I really believe that our expectations are a connection to our heart, to our desires, to our longings. So just because you didn't get what you want, or just because you're so, upset, doesn't mean that you have to completely dismiss the expectation. It's real, it has merit. So the first thing is to honor that without judgment. Like, oh, I expected too much, or I should have known better. Just take all of the judgment away. So step 1 is honor your expectation without judgment. Step 2, feel the feelings that it brings up, but don't get caught in the stories. Oof. The longer I do this mind-body work, the more I dig into personal growth and healing, and even just working with my own trauma, and then working with my clients and trauma over and over and over, the very simple theme of feel your feelings comes up. It is so connected to our freedom, especially from anxiety. A lot of times anxiety is just us stuffing our feelings down or fighting with them. So this step, number 2, is really important because I'm going to read it again. Feel the feelings that it brings up, your expectation not being met, but don't get caught in the stories. So let's say I really wanted someone to treat me a certain way and they didn't. And I feel really hurt about that. So I would feel the hurt, but I wouldn't listen to the stories. So what in the world does that mean? We often have unconscious beliefs and these stories that we tell ourselves because our brains love to make meaning of things. We don't like when the world doesn't make sense. We don't like when we don't have control. So oftentimes we will subconsciously kind of kick up these old storylines or make stories up just to make sense of something. So let me go back to that example. I wanted someone to treat me in a certain way. They didn't. I feel hurt. And here's a story that could quickly get mixed in. And that is, see, no one really loves me. Like, they don't care about me. Or they did that on purpose. That's a story and that's a belief. And so step 2 is a little tricky because you want to feel hurt. Like, I feel really hurt by what they did or didn't do. And it's not a good feeling. And if it's a safe relationship, you could even go and express that hurt. But you want to be really careful to not let that hurt then create meaning. Well, if you were a better person, you wouldn't get hurt so much. Well, if they were a nicer person, they wouldn't hurt you. You know, on and on and on. Now, truth and story is very, very different. So if there is a truth, hold on to that. But a lot of times when we are emotional, stories are tied in with that, and we really need to separate. So I told you this was a lot. Step 3, find the deeper need that your expectation is pointing you to. Okay, so kind of goes with step 1. It's there for a reason, right? Oftentimes our expectations are tied to maybe something that connects us back to a time in childhood that we are really longing for because the present life feels so stressful. Maybe it is tying you to a desire that you really, have kind of shoved to the side, but every time you have an expectation, it's that voice of that desire going, hey, this is important. I really want to pursue this. So when you are able to kind of clear away some of the feelings from step 2, then you might get quiet and you might sit and maybe even journal. Like, okay, what is this expectation pointing me to? Like, what is it revealing? That it's really important for me to be known. So I'll take that example. If I had an expectation of someone to treat me a certain way and they didn't treat me the way that I thought, and then I got hurt, and then I felt that hurt without getting caught up in the story, and then I go to step 3, which is I felt hurt because I really want to be known, and that made me feel that that person doesn't know me. So it's a little bit of a story, but the truth is it's important to me. It's a value for me in my life to be known. So that's what that expectation is pointing me towards. And then I can communicate that or take action or whatever. Step 4. Take action. I got them mixed up. I forgot. That was the next one. Take action or let it go with acceptance and trust. So, like I just said, take action. So if I really want to be known and I didn't feel known, then I need to, instead of sitting with resentment, right, which is our focus this week, to let go of resentment. Instead of sitting with resentment, I can go to that person and I can communicate, hey, it's really important for me to feel known. And then it's my responsibility to say, here's how I feel known. Because you can't just, want someone to be in your head, right? We have to teach people how to treat us. And I'm just using that, as an example. But any expectation, like if something's pointing you to a desire that you've stuffed down and, it's saying, hey, pay attention to me. Like, this is really important. This is a dream of mine. This is something I want to do. Take action, right? What can you do? Or if you can't really do anything. Like, say you did communicate to that person and they're unwilling to meet you, then you need to be able to let go with acceptance and trust, right? Letting go of that resentment, letting go of sometimes we cannot control life and other people. And that's how we can begin to manage our expectations. We can either take action or we can choose to let go and open up to trust and acceptance. And trust is holding that desire, holding that dream, holding that expectation, and for me, offering up to God, or for you, putting it out there and trusting that if it's meant to be, it will be, right? That something greater is at work, and there's a reason that it's not happening right here in the now. All right, step 5. There's only 5 steps. 5, last one. Offer forgiveness if needed. So expectations are messy deals, right? Oftentimes they include other people, and they can include hurt and feelings. And sometimes we need to offer forgiveness for maybe something, we've said in the midst of our heart, or when someone can't meet our expectations for their own reasons and we don't take it personally, we may still have to forgive them because we can just take that hurt or their action or lack of action so personally. And so all of this is to keep our hearts open and to keep our hearts in a place and a space for love. So let me review one more time. Step 1. This is all to learn how to be okay no matter what. Honor your expectations without judgment. Step 2. Feel the feelings that it brings up, but don't get caught in the stories. Step 3. Find the deeper need it's pointing you to. Step 4. Take action or let it go with acceptance and trust. And step 5. Offer forgiveness if needed. So I'm so amazed at this process. Really, I am. 3 months can seem like a really long time, and then it didn't really feel like a long time. I know I've grown. I know I've changed. I have a couple of people I've talked to who did this challenge, and I've heard great stories, beautiful stories. We've had our online processing group, and it's just amazing to hear what happens when we take intention and mindfulness and put them together. So all of this work is to open our hearts to create and promote change. So stay tuned. I am really excited to offer another course. This one is just going to be 1 month long. I will put a link in the notes of this video so you can find out more, and it is called Love in Action. What thing do we need more than anything in this world, especially in this time, especially in this season? We really need love. And you can love someone in your mind, and maybe they'll never know. So this is going to be 1 month of how do we show love in action? How do we take steps to make sure that people know we love them? And I really hope you'll join me. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon.